Hi, and welcome to another episode of Christian Capitalism brought to you by Todd's H.E.L.P. Todd's H.E.L.P, that's what helped Todd for over 30 years, and I hope it helps you. That's my prayer as always, that at least one of you gets one thing from our talk today. And today we're going to talk about perspective. Perspective is defined as a particular attitude toward or a way of regarding something. And it's important how we see things, a point of view. I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to share a story with you today that I think will explain what I mean by perspective. And it begins with, as you know, our team helps people, small business in particular, with a lot of things. And a lot of times it's out of the box, but it's things that will help their benefit. You know, because Christian capitalism is all about helping you do well to do good in the world. That's what it's really all about. And what's going on recently is we had a lot of COVID relief. You hear about, people are familiar with PPP loans and different things. And there is a particular thing that occurred, whereas they set aside a lot of money, and I'm talking there's still over $400 billion available from the federal government to small businesses. Now, earlier it was harder to qualify for than it is today. Just to keep it short, the reason behind it is that they want to make sure that $400 billion gets out to small businesses. I'm working with an accountant, a CPA, I have two CPAs that work on our team, and you have access to all those, of course, if you work with my team. But this particular one is primarily in the field. He works a lot with employer reduction credit, helping businesses to get the most out of that. And businesses don't know what they qualify for. So in brief meetings, we're able to qualify them and help them to find dollars that they never thought they would be able to get. And it's been making a big difference in business all around the country. So far, out of that $400 billion, they've helped personally retrieve about $1.5 billion for small businesses. So I always say, if you can keep money in the hands of good people, good things will happen instead of going to the feds. And that's my opinion. You know, government was always designed to do a few major things and let the states run their business, but it hasn't worked out that way. And I believe that too many times today, the money they take from small businesses in the form of taxes and so forth, it just goes into the wrong endeavors, things that we don't really believe in. So with that said, we can always do our part at capital planning to take advantage of anything that you can get to put it back to good use in the hands of the good people who made this country go. Well, the story I want to share with you, and all about perspective, is this. We'll call him Fred. I had a conversation with the guy the other day, and I brought up the subject of the ERC and that he may be able to get quite a few dollars back in the form of a tax credit, refundable tax credit. And he said, well, I really don't want to do any government programs. I believe my country has done enough for us, and there's a limit to what we should ask of our country. And, you know, I had to stop and think about that, because perspective is everything. In his mind, this government was doing him a favor. Okay, and that's the way he saw it. And I got to tell you that this guy is a first-class individual. He does so much good in the community. He's a tremendous business person. He's helped a lot of people. He loans money to businesses that need help at reasonable interest rates, and he donates to charity and does a lot of mission work. So a lot of respect for him. But his perspective was not mine, because mine's a little bit different. Here's what I believe. I believe the government is taking way more than they need to from the average American small business. And that those small businesses, if you put the money back in their hands, that money is going to be put into much better decision making and helping people all along the way, going to things like St. Jude's and starting up other businesses and loaning money out and so forth. So that's what makes the wheels turn. That's what made America great. And in speaking of perspective, I'm going to put something in perspective that Judge Learned Hand said. In the early 20th century, he was a very well-known federal judge and a legal philosopher, and there was many quotes from Judge Learned Hand. One of the most famous things he said was this, and again, this is all about perspective. He said, anyone may arrange his affairs so that his taxes shall be as low as possible. He is not bound to choose the pattern which best pays the Treasury. There is not even a patriotic duty to increase one's taxes. Over and over again, the courts have said that there is nothing sinister in so arranging affairs as to keep taxes as low as possible. Everyone does it, rich and poor alike, and all do right. For nobody owes any public duty to pay more than the law demands. And that perspective is what I've always had, is that it's up to us to read the tax code together with our CPAs and get the most we can from it. And again, it takes a team. So with that said, I encourage you, if you know anybody in business, small businesses, or you're a small business, reach out, help@capitalplanningteam.com. And as a quarterback of the team, I'm going to get you involved and have a conversation with the CPAs that know this stuff inside and out. And if you qualify, we want you to get the money back. And we want you to choose where it goes. So keep that in mind. And as always, remember, it takes a team. We better together. And what my good friend Phil always says, Phil 413, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. God bless and see you soon.